So let's start talking about the idea of a journey. Every story is a path. Every story goes from A to B. Something happens, right? There's a duration. In some stories, the path is so important. It's really a character, right? In Hansel and Gretel, the famous fairy tale, the path is this place of danger and discovery for these children that leads them to a magical place where all kinds of bad things happen. Because fairy tales are scary. In The Wizard of Oz, the yellow brick road is like an icon of the entire story. Everything happens on that road, and that road is taking our characters to an important and unknown destination. Or one of my favorite, more recent movies, Mad Max, Fury Road. The road is in the title of the movie, right? The road is just such a compelling draw for these characters in their quest for something green and alive, right? And if we look at an image like this of a path in a forest, that path immediately invites action. There's no person in the scene, there's no big bad wolf, nothing's happening, but that path immediately invites us to enter. And that kind of invitation is something that we as designers are constantly crafting. So take a minute to just look at A and B here. We can do an A/B test. Which of these images is more inviting to you as the beginning of a story? Many of us will choose B because that path is an invitation to get going. And if you Google big pictures of forests, which I did, this is what the pictures will look like. These are the popular pictures. These are the pictures of forests that people are drawn to. And in all of them, there's some kind of path or stream or waterfall or light breaking through the forest canopy or two really important trees having a conversation. So even something as abstract as an image of a forest, we're drawn to those that start to tell a story, that start to bring us forward. And artists have always known this. This is a key technique in visual designing, right, of visual storytelling. This is a poster from Cooper Hewitt's collection. And this path invites us to enter the scene. And when we get there, we're rewarded by sunlight and baby mushrooms, right? There's something that happens. This is a later poster by the same artist. And this image is much more abstract and futuristic. But really, the structure is the same. There's a path, and the path leads our eye to the future, and the future is a motorcycle. We're there. We've arrived. And we can really look at any visual image in terms of a motion. Something is happening over time. This is an illustration by Christoph Niemann, an incredible editorial illustrator and artist. And we're at the top of this image, and a woman is hanging out laundry. And we come to the bottom of the image, and we discover the story. And this happens over time, in a microsecond. We hardly know time has passed. And yet we read the image from top to bottom. And this is part of the mechanics of how we look at images. We do not take it all in at once. We absorb it over time and unlock the secret of what's happening. So here's one for you to take a look at. We're at the top of an image by Christoph Niemann, and consider for a moment, what might these hands be knitting? So it's a beautiful unlocking of the image. And even when we have a page layout where there's not a surprise or a joke or something magical that happens at the end, we still absorb that content over time. And recognizing that as a designer is so important to creating effective layouts for people to understand that order and what attracts the eye over time. As designers, especially experienced designers, many of us map out the experience that a user will have, including a map like this, which shows rising and falling emotion, right? Pain points and happy points within an experience of a product. This is a beautiful emotional journey map by Solid Light, an exhibition design company. And when they create an exhibition, they map out in space and time where the points of emotional intensity will be in the experience of an exhibition. And so that's looking at like the big picture, right? The big journey that a user takes. But I think it's important to recognize that this idea of the journey is actually built into interface design itself, right? At a more macro, micro level. So this is from the weight loss app Noom. And they use journey mapping not just as a design tool for the team back at home, but actually as part of the experience of the user as they, over time, use this app to achieve whatever life goals they have. So it starts at the bottom, and as you make your way through their product, you can reward yourself by seeing yourself getting closer to the finish line. And that's the big journey. But every day and even every hour that you engage with the app, you're experiencing these timelines, these journeys. And so in a sense, the essence of the entire product design is around the big journey, keeping somebody engaged for months on end, if not years on end with the product, and then these daily ongoing interactions, which are the only way that you succeed in achieving your goals with the app. And I want to compare that to a competing product, the Weight Watchers app, which has a completely different kind of dashboard for users to interact with. So totally different design, really reflecting a totally different viewpoint or philosophy of the whole product. So Noom, it asks me, what is my journey today? And Weight Watchers asks me, what is my journey of the whole week? Right, where have I been? How many points do I have left? What's going to happen in the future? And it's literally drawn as a narrative arc. Is one better than the other? No, I mean, these are two different approaches. They're two very successful products. I happen to have my favorite one, but I'm not endorsing products. I'm just looking at the design of it and asking you to situate yourself in terms of what kind of journey are you presenting, right, at that distance level and then right up close as I interact with the product.